Hi everyone, Jacqueline here. So today we are potting up my deck railing planters, my turquoise blue planters that I pot up every single year. But this year I'm going to keep my colors the same for all the planters. So I'm going to use my Island Wave Petunias I grew from seed, and you can see how gorgeous they are for colors. We won't need them all, but we'll use a good chunk of them. And then I'm going to use my geraniums, which were the pink Pinto and the Lavender 2000s, because I've been neglecting them because we've been doing so many other projects. They've been sitting on the deck and I've been ignoring them. So I need to get them planted so they can put some growth on them. And you're going to start seeing more videos where I use this stuff up because time is going by. And these distractions are just killing my ability to get plants in the grounds. But you know, you do your priorities first and then you come back and you deal with those things that, you know, can hopefully wait. And this is one of them that needed to wait while we deal with some bad trees because the wind has been horrible. Now today we're extremely windy again. It is gross out here again, and it's really picking up. You can see the plants are starting to move and stuff. But you can see if you look down there, we have a tree laying on the ground. I guess it doesn't show through the railing, but we took another tree down last night. The one that split, we managed to take it down ourselves. So we got that to cut up and haul away too. So lots of fun and more trees coming down. That storm did a number, and then I've found some rot in the trees. So I don't like taking trees down. I mean, besides saving the tree and not losing your trees because they provide the structure to your garden, but also due to the fact that they're a lot of work for two people, because I'd hire the most minimalist of the work out to stay within my budget. And so it's not economical for me to pay for someone to do all the work and haul it away. It just doesn't make financial sense for us at this point in our lives. So yeah, so anyhow, let's get back on topic here and let's plant up the deck railing planters. So I'm going to do these railing planters here pretty much one at a time. I've got one I've already started. We'll top that one up. One I can show you kind of a finished product and what I got, and then these ones we're going to start from scratch. So I am using my triple mix again, triple mix blend soil from Walmart. I love this soil. I buy it every year. It's $2.68 a bag, and this definitely fits within the budget. So I'm just going to dump this in, and it's going to be a little awkward. These bags are they're heavy because they've had some rain. So see if I can get them in without losing half the bag on the ground or on the deck. And you can see this is really nice soil. It's a little lumpy from being from the rain and stuff, but really great stuff. And yeah, it's gonna go crazy on me. Hopefully I can fit that in. Ooh, nice save. Okay, so that took about half a bag to fill that. I'm going to use my Miracle Grow Shake and Feed and put some of that in here. Just about gone through a whole container of this. Doesn't take long. I kind of start buying stuff up during the winter months as I see it, especially if it's on sale. And that's one of my tips for keeping your costs down. And then I have it, especially when the summer rush happens. Stuff tends to sell out fast, especially at your local stores. So that's something that I like to do. So we're going to start with putting in the geraniums. And I'm going to take the smallest geraniums that look the most beat up and put them in. Now, because this is a rail planter, your middle part of this railing planter is high because that's where the container sits. And I'll show you on the other container when we do the next one how high it is. So you want to put your shallow plants here in the middle, and then your ones that need the deep roots on the edges. Otherwise, you're going to have some problems. So we're going to zigzag 3 of these in here, and I think that'll look good. And we will give them a little more food. We are going to feed them after with water-soluble fertilizer. Last year I did seaweed. It worked great. This year I've got a combination of fish and another one I'm trying. I like to change my fertilizers up every year because I like to try different fertilizers so that I can kind of see that if I'm out of one thing, there's another one I can have as my secondary go-to for fertilizer. So that's kind of how I operate. Otherwise you get kind of, I don't know. I don't like to get into a rut on certain things or set in my ways on things because then it's harder to find stuff. You know, it's kind of disappointing, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. All right, so that's 3 of them in there. Now we're going to come along with the Island Petunias and we're going to fill in around. I would definitely grow the Island Petunias again from seed. The seed came from Veseys, if you're wondering. And, you know, petunias were an interesting thing. I've never grown petunias from seed before, I'll be honest. And, like, they were interesting. But this color combination is just so pretty that I just had to do it. I'm just going to reach in here. And so easy to put in, too. Right? They're so easy to plant with new soil. Always firm your plants in place. I notice a lot of gardeners don't. This mix, the Island Petunia color mix, is a combination of whites, pinks, purples, and magentas in the mix. And you see this one's got a few leaves I need to take off. And there's the magenta. This one has really spread out nicely because, well, there's 2 plants. And I'm just picking off any leaves because you can see it's dry. So I've been neglectful, guilty as charged. And then we'll put the other one in since I pulled it out. Although I wasn't going to water these, when I see them that dry, I think I'm going to have to give it a bit of water. And we're going to put this one over on the end. So we're just going to randomly pop a whole pile of these in, pick off any leaves that don't look good. Petunias tend to bounce back nicely. And we need to add some purple now. The nice thing about waiting, oops, I didn't yank that one out well. The nice thing about waiting till your petunias are in bloom is then you know exactly what colors you're working with, especially when it's a variety you haven't tried before. So that helps a lot. So we're just going to fill this in nice and thick. And if you have any buds, take them off. If you want them to root faster, and this is my tip, and I know people don't like it, to pick all the blooms off. Pick all the blooms, all the buds off, and your plant will root way faster. That is my tip for doing these. And then we're just going to stop. See, if you picked all these off, it really helps the plant. And this is when I don't like wearing gloves when I do this. So we're going to run some just down the middle. And I am taking my gloves off. Like, this is just, I can't do it. Now, because these aren't waved, you might want to plant them a bit thicker to get the fullness in the arrangement. So I'm going to add a few more. The pollinators will thank me. And just looking here to see where else I can probably, I would like to add a purple right there. You can see this one's purple, but it's not in bloom yet, but it's perfect. And then I'm just gonna give them a little bit of fertilizer because I've been so neglectful. Get it off the leaves. And that one is done. This is what the bottom of my deck railing planters look in. They're set up in a way that there's different sizes here. So the smaller your railing, it's going to use this one. The bigger the railing, it's going to use this one. And then it's going to sit on top. So, and these are all the drainage holes that we put in. It only had a couple spots. They were not enough. So we've drilled quite a few in around all the sides here to accommodate the plants. So we get heavy rains that it will drain off nicely. All right, let's fill this one up and finish this up before it pours rain on me. So for this one, I'm going to add a few more geraniums into it because I started it quite early and it definitely needs some repairs done because it was started when we had a bunch of cold, and I've done some cleanup on it, but it could use definitely some help on the color side of things. So we're just going to shove a geranium in there. So that's it for the project. We've got some geraniums in and we have some island petunias in. This is one that I did up a couple of weeks ago, so you can see the flowers and what they look like. They're just starting to spread now, which is beautiful. And I come through and I deadhead. Even if they're a petunia or a annual that they say you don't have to deadhead, I still deadhead because I think they look better when they're deadheaded, and it gets the blooms to continue producing sooner than later. I think leaving the buds on slows them down a little bit, but that's just my opinion. So you can see here how gorgeous these colors are. Really, really pretty. You can see the wind here picking up. And we have some more of the magenta ones over here. I really like that particular color of petunia. It's one of my favorites because it's so brilliant in the garden. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to go in before the rain starts and do some planning for the next project.